All right, we're back with the Screen Team. We've got Doug and Stacy on this show. We've already reviewed a couple of flicks for you, and now we're getting ready for probably one of the biggest movies that have come out so far in 2017. It is called The Fate and the Furious. Doug and Stacy, you guys are kind of sewers of the Fast and the Furious franchise. Is that correct?
We love the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We kind of dig it.
So this is the 8th installment. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Fate and the Furious, that's the name of the film. What were your guys' initial thoughts? You guys saw it in the theaters, right?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
So, Stacey, what did you like? What did you think?
Well, my main concern when this movie came out was what were they going to do with Brian?
And which one's Brian?
Paul Walker.
Okay.
I forget. You haven't seen the cool movies. It's lame.
I saw 6. I saw the 6th one, number 6.
So, yeah,
Okay.
you saw Brian.
Yeah. So that was Paul Walker, and so I
Okay.
was really concerned about how they were going to handle this.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a really great job. It was just kind of brought up like we're not going to bring him into this.
Yeah.
And that was
We all agree we're not bringing Brian and his wife into this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, at the end of the last one, they have a family and they're, kind of doing their own thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They had to write him off somehow.
Yeah.
So then it was like, then they started with the promos of Dominic Toretto has gone rogue.
And that's Vin Diesel, right? He's
Vin
he's
Diesel.
bad in this one, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he is bad. And he's got a good reason to be bad. I'm not going to tell you what that reason is because that's part of this movie had more twists and more turns and more, oh my gosh, I did not see that coming than any movie I've probably ever seen.
Yeah. Doug, do you agree with Stacey?
I do agree. Totally agree. Because there were some things that happened. I'm thinking, okay, cliche. In the end, maybe cliche, but you really, because you start seeing these twists and turns like, whoa, maybe that's not why. Yeah, to see the movie on anybody, I got to stop because I'll give it away. I'll give it away.
So let's talk about, Fast and the Furious is known for its cars, for
Which
going
I
fast, for its stunts.
Dearly love.
I mean, what are some of the big stunts? And is there a one where the car's like on the ice or something like?
Yes.
There's several, yeah. All the probably the end of the movie there, the big crescendo or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all just all over the ice. I love the fact that the Lamborghini could not get traction. Ha!
Yeah.
But I seen one car did get traction. The Charger. Hello. I'm a Mopar guy.
Represent, yo.
You dang right, and I will all the way.
I don't even know what half of these models of these cars are. I just know
all through the movie I'm telling her, oh, that's a this and that's a that.
I just know there's probably people who are car people that might get a little bit sick to their stomach with some of the, if you're like a huge car person or whatever.
I'm not a supercar person like Lamborghinis and Audis, whatever's. I can care less. I can care less.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the American muscle car, I am 1,000,000% all for that. My brand is Chrysler, Mopar, otherwise known. Chevys, Fords, love them too. Except Mustang.
So a lot of folks, and I do mean a lot of folks, they go to this series to watch it because they like the cars. They like that they go fast. What is it about the Fast and the Furious series that makes you guys go each and every time?
Honestly, for me, the two things: the cars and the action. Mm-hmm. Now you've seen 6. I can't really remember. 6 had a whole lot of the girls and all that kind of stuff. But most of these have, the girls that are walking around in bikinis and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's all probably fun for the younger guys and everything. Me, I really care less about them. I'm there for the cars. It's like car shows and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Love it. They're pretty good with a lot of their facts, too. Some guys will talk, in a movie like, this car's got this much horsepower, this much torque, all this kind of stuff. And for the most part, they're pretty well right. Because most of these cars are not stock factory cars. They're souped up hot rod,
But do you think that car had 8,000 horsepower?
There wasn't no 8,000 horsepower. I love
It was a good scene,
71 GTX. There's, stock. There's no way, and you know where, and beefed up. I mean, 3,000 horsepower. Well, yeah, probably. In a super race car, I'm sure. Yeah, but that scene was a little bit over. I mean,
But it was funny.
yeah, but I mean, anybody that's got any knowledge at all with cars are going to go, well, there's no way that can happen.
Yeah, but you know.
But you're not going to go for that.
That was the point I was trying to make.
You're going for the over the top.
Right.
You know, everything's over the top. And
right.
I mean, all the stunt sequences, there's no way.
Stacy, is that why you go? You go for the overtopness of the films?
Yeah, that's why I go. No.
She goes for Vin Diesel.
I do like the action. Everybody knows I love a good action movie. So I like the action. The stories are usually pretty good. You know, they're not real in-depth. They're, you know, they don't make you think too much, but they're not too corny either. And there's a lot of eye candy in these movies.
Special effects. I mean, there's a ton of special effects. The entire series of movies, a ton of special effects.
I'll tell you what wasn't a special effect, and that's The Rock. Or Jason Statham. Neither one of them are special effects.
They're buff.
They're special, but they're not special effects.
Let me ask you something. I don't know if you guys had followed this or not, but was there a beef, like a real beef, between The Rock and Vin Diesel? Did you hear anything about that, Stace?
Like in real life?
outside the
no,
movie.
but there was this one scene where they.
I had heard something about this, that after the movie had been shot, everything's done, that The Rock had said something like, I've never worked with less professional people or something like that. I don't get that from watching the movie and watching any of the...
you know, now that you say that, I think I heard him say it, but I didn't know that was about this movie. I thought that was about something else. But
no, this is supposed to be.
I think there was a beef between The Rock and Vin Diesel, but a lot of money's being made by a lot of different sides, so I have a feeling those beefs are gonna.
Dollar signs will make you suck it up a little bit.
They can
Move
buy.
on.
They can
Onward
buy
and
a
upward.
lot of beef with the money that they're making.
There was this one scene in there though that when it happened, I kind of looked over at Doug and I said, I wonder how many times they did that, because it was Jason Statham and The Rock, and throughout this series they have really not gotten along. You know, Jason Statham has always been the bad guy, and they're always trying to catch him, and Kurt Russell, his part, he kind of comes in there and says, I'm looking for one guy, and there's only two people I know that have ever caught him. And so that's how they they kind of come to work together a little bit. And so they do their little jaw, and then The Rock says something to Jason Statham, and it was like the most genuine crack up I've ever seen. And I was like, you know, The Rock has his rockisms. And I was thinking, I wonder how many rockisms they went through to get this one scene cut. But
that one to me could have been like a one take, because you could see the genuine laugh off of both of their faces after the thing was said. I don't want to say what was said, but after it was said, they were both like,
you can tell it was like, it was for real.
So let me ask you, there's been talk from Universal that they want to do a spin-off movie with The Rock and Jason Statham's character doing whatever it is they do in these films. Would you go see that spin-off?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't, to this point, I don't see how they can really go any farther. I mean, of course, you can always make storylines and everything, but as far as the over-the-topness, I don't see how they can make anything any bigger in this series.
Once you see why Dominic goes rogue and what transpires through all that, it does kind of make me figure that I don't know how they would do another one. Yeah. So
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure there's
they made
a way.
Another one without one of the major characters. So
I'm sure there's a way that they could make another one, but at this point, it's like spinoffs. Yeah, I could see spinoffs like prequels maybe. I personally wouldn't mind seeing that, because in the first movie, you kind of go into get a look into Dominic's character, how he got his reputation and everything. I wouldn't mind seeing that as a prequel to, how does Dominic go into this? Or, Paul Walker's character, you obviously can't do Paul Walker's character again, for obvious reasons. But, you really couldn't go into his either, because he worked for the FBI, That's all you really got to know.
Yeah.
But Dom, yeah, I could see Toretto's. Okay, why? Why did he go into this direction? Oh, okay, that's right.
So the Fate and the Furious, big thumbs up from you guys, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we give it 4 thumbs up.
Yeah.
I love it, guys. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, and great job on the review. We'll be back again next week with another edition of the Screen Team, so hopefully we can see you then. For Doug, Stacy, and Chris, we are the Screen Team, and remember, we want you to know before you go.